Hello, and welcome to reCapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at reCapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Hey, Delora. We are back from a little bit of a break. How you feeling? How you living?
God is good. I say that
all
because,
the time.
You know, we don't keep things positive, but sometimes I was talking to my friend at work and I was telling her, I'm having a time, but I do have faith of a mustard seed. So I'm just going to hold on to that. She's like, that's all you need. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, why am I a responsible citizen? You know what I mean? Like, I wish I just didn't care sometimes.
I don't even know if not caring right now would make that big of a difference because you're being inundated by so much. Just
yes!
Like maybe like going and living away from social media and television and news would help right now. But that's depending on how
I need to move.
Your life is impacted by anything that's immediately going on,
Okay, so I'm moving to the Caribbean where I can live off the ocean, spotty internet connection, and get myself a tan and walk and bike everywhere I need to go. Okay.
Basically, that's the move right now. That's the move because it is overwhelming. And guys, apologies. My voice for this episode and the next will not be the greatest because, as I'm sure many of you have dealt with, I am under the weather. Caught one of these things that's going around. Yeah, not been fun, but we are here and I did not want to miss this. I wanted to get back and get a chance to talk to all of you guys about some of the stuff that's been going on in these streets. So it is our usual pop culture episode where we talk about headlines and hot topics, and we will dive in today. The first headline, Delora, that I'm looking at, we talked about this series. We have not recapped it, but it is Natasha Rothwell's How to Die Alone has been canceled after just one season on Hulu. Yep. And she has been quoted as saying she's baffled and she's going to be shopping the series elsewhere. This was one that was, in collaboration with Onyx Collective, and it was released in September of 2024. And in a statement, Natasha says she's shocked, heartbroken, and frankly baffled. The source that they list in the Variety article I'm reading has said that, the studio is indicating that viewership wasn't strong enough to renew it, but Natasha was mentioning that it was critically successful, creative, and award-winning. It has 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. It had great reviews, all these things. So, I hope, I enjoyed that first season. I hope that she's able to find another home for this series and that we can get a second season. How'd you feel about it when you heard?
I was shocked as well because to her point, it's like people are talking about this show. Now, is the viewership where it needs to be? Maybe not, but like she mentioned, it's well received. So that seems like an opportunity to continue the story and improve on marketing, right? There are plenty of shows similar to this one that could get another season before it's canceled. I do think it's disappointing. And I'm sure it doesn't help in light of all the, the end of diversity, equity, inclusion efforts, because Onyx was pretty much that, right? It is dedicated to Black television, and it's really new. It's relatively new. I think it was probably birthed out of the quote unquote racial reckoning from 2020. So this was technically one of its top performing series. So it's disappointing. Maybe this is also coming off the heels of Kerry Washington's show that got canceled after a second season. So maybe they didn't want to take that chance.
Maybe. I mean, in Natasha's statement, she also mentioned it took her 8 years to bring this show to life. So I was like, damn, 8 years finally got off the ground. And, I'm sure she had much more bandwidth and story that she's been hoping to tell.
I'm
And
sure
we hear that a
too.
lot. I think it's sometimes we take for not even take for granted, but we can forget the life that these projects have to actually
Yes.
make it to production and the
Yep.
challenges and all of that. We've talked to the creatives about that when we've done like our in conversations and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, um, as bummed as it is as a fan, it's like if I were the creator, I might be crawling under a rock today as well, a little bit.
Well,
Very
it's
upset.
she's an artist. She's sensitive about her shit, so that's completely understandable. But you hear that all the time is like I'm a 10-year overnight success, right? And to her point, she's like, you know what? We got some legs, y'all.
Yeah.
And y'all cutting me down. But it also, on the other hand, made me think about Oprah in one of her many interviews now that OWN has been around. I think it's safe to say probably over 20 years at this point. One of the lessons that Oprah mentioned that she learned is that she took everything personal. And if she were to look at her white male counterparts, let's keep that a buck because that's who her competition is, they might quote unquote fail and move on, but they don't carry the burden of that failure. You know what I mean? And she said that was one of the lessons that she had to learn with that particular endeavor. And I thought that was interesting. And for whatever reason, it came to mind because Natasha, don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware that she is hurt by losing this opportunity with Hulu, but she'll be fine. She's so talented.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite episodes of Insecure was the one that she wrote, the one between Issa and that man, Lawrence, going on a date kind of like when they were rekindling or were they
She made me
reminiscing?
fall in love with Issa and Lawrence. She made me
Yep.
fall in love with them. I was
And I
Team
was
Lawrence
like,
till the
she
death
is
after that.
so talented. Like that's art, okay? Because I hated that man for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Natasha does speak of resilience in her statement. I agree. I think she's going to be fine. I hope they find a good home for it. She's obviously going to be coming up in this next season of what's the show?
White Lotus.
Yeah, this
I'm
third
like, get that
season.
check.
Yep,
Yep.
bringing her character back because she deserves justice. Her character deserves justice. So let's be
I have yet
100%
to watch
clear.
the first season,
Yeah,
so I might
you
need to
you
do that
should.
before the third.
Yeah, she deserves justice. So I'm hoping for the best. I hope this finds a home to have a great second season. And if not, I'm sure we will see other great projects from Natasha in the very near future. So let's move on to our second headline. Emilia Perez, which has been an awards darling, honestly, in terms of nominations in this latest awards season. Netflix musical controversial film, one could say, because it has not done well in terms of, critics, in terms of viewers. It's considered to be kind
Wicked
of
was my vote
weird.
for the Golden Globe, and it should
I
still
mean,
won.
but Wicked was fantastic. And
Yes,
even if I think the thing about Amelia Perez too is that I don't think people think it's fantastic, which makes it a little bit more baffling.
yes,
Um,
correct. People hate it.
yeah, people hate it. And I started it and I fell asleep, but I wanted to watch it because I was like, I have to see what everybody is talking about. So I did start it. But so this latest controversy, let me get back to my point, is impacting now their award season, right? Because you had the build up to nominations for Zoe Saldana, for nominations for Best Picture, for nominations for Carla Sofia Gascon as Best Actress. And come to find out, Carla Sofia has some very controversial tweets that have been dug up. Looking at a couple of articles, but I've pulled up one from Forbes first. She had her tweets resurface last week, and she has since gone on to do an hour-long interview with CNN in Spanish, which was apparently not authorized by Netflix, the film's distributor. And they have kind of distanced themselves from her. Zoe Saldana has made a statement saying she's just still processing. It's really sad because she doesn't support these tweets. Essentially, these old tweets are from 2020 to 2023, and they deal with subject matter such as Islam, George Floyd, and even Selena Gomez, her co-star in this film,
Yep.
was the subject of one of her tweets, as well as like the diversity of the Oscars. So she has again subsequently gone on to say, oh, I'm not racist, this, and that. But the fallout has been fairly swift. It seems that she is not going to be supported budget wise to attend these upcoming additional award shows by Netflix. Her cast doesn't seem like, and even the director has spoken out against her. I don't know what the future, and I'm not laughing because it's not funny. I don't know what the future holds for her career, but I'll say as of right now, I don't think she's going to be able to overcome this controversy, at least for the foreseeable future. What were your thoughts about the tweets and her interview and the whole drama?
My thoughts. You really got to be mindful of what you put on social media. This was a revolutionary moment for her, being the first trans woman to be nominated for Best Actress at the Oscar. And she fumbled that ball. She fumbled that bag too. So I don't really have much to say on the matter other than you really do have to be mindful of what you put out there for the world to see.
You know, it's interesting too when people talk about old, use the term old. When I saw that it was between like 2020 and 2023, I said, baby, that's not old.
It's
That was
not,
yesterday.
because I believe she's like around our age. So yeah, no, we're not talking
You weren't a teenager.
2004.
No,
Sorry to 2004 Ruben Stutter. No, that's fresh.
fresh, fresh, fresh. That was
You still
yesterday.
have those opinions.
That was yesterday, right? So, to your point, not only do you have to be mindful, but like, why do you go to social media to say things like that and then not expect
Exactly.
that it could be come back on you? Like, if I don't know if she has like a manager or a PR team or anything like that, but they should have found this shit before she even started popping.
That
Because I thought
exactly.
they do stuff like that. They deep dive to see like what could possibly come up to hurt you in the future. And baby, this was at your fingertips. This wouldn't even have been hard to find.
Exactly.
So I don't know why she would have said the things she said. Clearly, these were her thoughts, and she felt the need to express them on a social media platform. So whatever the fallout is, unfortunately, ma'am, you definitely brought it on yourself, and we'll see what happens. Let's move on to Cowboy Carter Tour announcement. Now we're going to get into the Grammys, guys. The reason why I have this first is because this announcement was supposed to be first, right? Like this announcement was supposed to come in January, but Beyonce postponed them for the LA wildfires. So the announcement we have been waiting on has come, and it is that there's going to be a Cowboy Carter Tour, Chitlin Circuit Tour. Now, Delora, as of now, there are only 9 cities on this list that she is going to. She's going to LA, Chicago, New York, London, Paris, Houston, Atlanta, DC, Vegas. And she is doing dates starting in late April through July. Are you excited that Beyonce is going back on tour? And are you dropping these coins to see her again.
All right. Um, am I excited to see her go on tour? Sure. Sure. It's going to be a great show. I don't know if I have the energy to be fighting people for tickets though. Like, I don't need this extra anxiety. I think it was fun at first when she made the announcement because yay, joy in the midst of a lot of BS, right? That's going on. But then I was like, oh wait, there's anxiety when trying to get these freaking tickets. And I don't want to partake. I don't want to be, throwing bows to make sure I get a seat. I'm also in this space where I've seen Beyonce on the floor 3 times now. I don't need to do it again. I
No,
don't.
ma'am. I didn't know you seen her on the floor all 3 concerts.
Yeah.
Baby, you can go ahead and retire. You are Gucci.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So if I am gonna go, we gonna have a good time. Maybe in like that 200 area. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's my level. That's my sweet spot. Yep. Don't put me in the nosebleeds, but I ain't paying floor seat tickets either.
So, and I do enjoy Cowboy Carter. I know some people are like, "Oh, it's country. I didn't like it." Blah blah blah. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what it represented, and I'll explain more for our Grammy conversation. I'm gonna be peer pressured and wanting to go anyway because once those videos come out, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, let me go ahead and get my boots." I got a disco ball cowboy hat at work. I got one behind me. You see that right there?
Yeah, that's the life-size version of the little mini one you had before.
I do. Yep. I took the other one to work. So yeah.
Listen, I can get some shit and get dressed in my house and play the album. Yeah, miss me with this shit, guys. Miss me. I love Beyonce down. I have seen her thrice as well, but I'm not doing this with y'all in 2025. I have dropped too much money on concert tickets in 2024 alone to keep playing with y'all with these seats and Ticketmaster.
I didn't go anywhere last year. I didn't go to any concerts last year. I went to
Girl.
2 places, but still, that's where I'm like, I technically could go. All right, Tony. Tony, let me know. Are we going or not? Okay.
If y'all go, I will live vicariously. I'm gonna live vicariously through all this posts on
And
Instagram,
now I gotta figure out
what
what
have
city I want to
you.
see her in. See,
Yeah, I'm sure you'll go back to Chicago. That's the closest.
I don't want to go back to Chicago. That's the deal,
Where you
right?
want to go?
Like
Atlanta?
I was thinking
LA?
Atlanta.
She
I was
going
thinking
4 nights.
Atlanta. But then I was like, ooh, there's a lot of black people there. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granted, I grew up in Detroit. So I'll be fine, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm joking about the blacks, of course.
Well, I just thought you meant it in like it's gonna be popping, right? Like those are going to be hard to
That is what I
hit.
am saying. Like,
Um,
exactly. Everybody's gonna want to go to Atlanta because honestly, Atlanta was one of the best stops for Renaissance. What else was really good for Renaissance? LA. Well, kind of. LA kind of can be.
they just had gets like 4 nights. Like because
Yeah.
she lives there, so she's like, "Yo, I'm gonna pop home."
Yeah.
I love to like Beyonce is at a point in her career where like her dates are spread out. You can tell she's like,
Yes.
I need rest
Yep.
in between
As she
to be at
should.
my best. I'm gonna go
Because her tickets
home.
are like $1 million. So you don't need
Exactly.
as many shows.
Exactly. You think she's gonna add on more though? You think this is just the first batch, or you think this is all we're getting?
I think this is all we're getting
Okay.
because we still got Act 3,
Yeah.
and who knows what she wants to do with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you what, y'all have fun. Like I'm so happy for everybody who wants to go see this tour. It's gonna be dope. The Netflix halftime special and me dancing in my living room is gonna be the extent of my experience with this one. I mean, she puts it out in theaters. I may go see that one.
I want to know how many of her features are going to go on tour with her.
I don't know. I'm sure some people will pop up different cities, kind of the way people do when they can, but
She's not going to Nashville, is she?
no. Houston. Houston will get it though.
Houston. Yep. Okay.
Gotta
That's
go
what
to
it
the
was.
hometown.
Houston and Atlanta were like the most popping and the most popping, the most popping cities for Renaissance. So
Yeah. All right. Well, again, I'm happy for the Beehive because the Beehive is buzzing. I'm happy for um
she's
everybody.
so funny
She was
with that.
adorable. That was literally like, oh my God, I could pinch her cheeks. That was so adorable. Like she reminded, like I could see like a childhood Beyonce in that moment. She was so cute.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy for everybody. I'm glad that this is bringing people joy. But yeah, y'all go ahead and miss me with this. I love you, Beyonce. Let's move on to the Grammys, Delora. You watched, you were texting me, which I appreciate because I was not watching. And I was like, oh, you helped making me feel a part of the ceremony a little bit. And it was a historical night. You know, I've shit on the Grammys for a long time. Well deserved
Yep, it
for
was
their
deserved.
lack of recognition of Beyonce at being the biggest factor.
Five
And
time nominated, and you could have easily won two for sure.
yeah,
If you really want to get technical, but Taylor Swift has like five of them, and I'm still finding that very hard to understand.
yeah, I don't want to shit on Taylor. This is what I've decided to today's episode.
Okay.
I don't want to shit on Taylor just because Taylor brought me so much joy watching her joy at the Grammys. I was like, Taylor is that person who I just like Rihanna, I enjoy that it seems like they have a good time no matter what environment you put them in. Like, yes, they gonna get their asses up. They gonna dance. If nobody else is dancing, they gonna dance. If nobody
Yeah,
else is enjoying the show, they gonna enjoy the show. And I love that.
Taylor's a little annoying though, but okay, I hear you.
I don't
I
know her.
respect what you're saying.
I don't know her well enough for her to annoy me. So I don't know if people in the audience were like, girl, if you don't sit your, because she's tall
But
too. If you
she's
don't
done
sit
this.
your
She's
big
been
ass
doing
down.
this since she's been in the industry. Like, so I think she even said it. It's not like she went to prom or anything like that. She goes to freaking Grammys, whereas everybody else who've been,
Normal people for a while.
normal people cry, sweat and tears, happy to be there, hoping to win something. This is cake for her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But you get what I'm saying though, right? Like you'll
I
see
do.
videos of like Rihanna was in the audience at somebody's concert. ASAP Rocky sitting,
Mariah.
look, Mariah. ASAP Rocky next to her, not doing nothing. Everybody else in the audience not doing nothing. Rihanna is living. Rihanna is
Yep.
getting her full life. That's how I felt about Taylor watching her at the Grammys. I'm like, I love that, because if I'm a performer, for everybody to be sitting down in the room has to like not be great energy. So to have someone who
It's
is
not.
engaged,
It's the
having
hardest audience.
fun, yeah,
You're
it was
among your
like I
peers.
loved to see it. And I also thought she looked fire, if I'm honest. I loved the red. I loved
She looked
the leg
fantastic. I just
chain.
didn't like her hair. The chain was cute. It's giving grown woman, so happy for her for that.
Yes.
Because we have a perception problem with Taylor. They like to what is the term?
Infantilize.
Infantilize her, and that's where I get annoyed. But anyway, I don't dislike Taylor, but she does annoy me a little bit. But I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you.
But that's enough on that. I was just giving her a little bit of grace and love today because I know I've shit on her a few times on this podcast before, and it's never
Yeah,
about her. It's about
it's not. It's
the
society.
rest. Yeah,
Yep.
the way that she is built up that bothers
Yep.
me, but she seems great. Okay,
Yep.
full
I
stop.
agree.
But this night ain't about Taylor. This night was about motherfucking Beyonce.
These mother effers ain't stopping me.
Okay, because Beyonce won three Grammys. She won
Major.
Best duo, best country duo, her and Miley Cyrus, even though I do not love that song.
I
I'm
think it's
happy for
cute.
y'all. I don't think they voices blend. I said that when we talked about
You
our
did.
review, and I stand
You
on
did.
that. But
Yep.
I'm happy for y'all. She won Best Country Album, first Black woman to ever do so.
Whew, that reaction was everything. I think I've successfully reposted a meme of that every day since. My latest one is you set a boundary and nobody dies.
Somebody did a compilation of all of her Grammy acceptance speeches on Instagram. I cried. I don't know why.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It made me so emotional. Like going back to Destiny's Child, like seeing
Yeah,
her, Michelle and Kelly, and then her first win, like Dangerously in Love, and her reaction, like through the years, it brought me to tears. And
I
then
love that.
Beyonce finally, fourth Black woman ever has won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. Okay?
Amazing.
Okay? Let that sit.
Amazing.
Let that marinate. That this woman, who is the most awarded as well as nominated person in Grammy history, has finally won the coveted Album of the Year.
Yep.
Only took a few albums.
It did.
Only took some decades in the game.
It's giving what Academy Awards is known for, though.
Where you don't get it for your best body
I'm
of
thinking
work.
a la Denzel Washington. He got it for Training Day. I mean, he did not. Training Day when you had him playing Malcolm X? What?
I don't like that Halle Berry got it for Monsters Ball either.
I don't like it either. But he lost lost it because Al Pacino got it for Sin of a Woman, because
Yes.
Al Pacino should have gotten it
For
before
the
that.
Godfather.
So it is giving that. But as a person who listened to almost every album, this latest from Taylor Swift was not great compared to her previous albums. And Billie Eilish, everybody thought she was going to win. Billie Eilish album, I'm a fan. So that was like her song Churro or something like that was like my third most played song of 2024. So I love me some Billie Eilish in this new album.
Yeah, that's my girl.
But it's not as good as her previous. And it just was time. It was time for Beyonce. And people are saying Jay-Z bought it. Jay-Z made the Academy feel bad. They gave it away. I don't believe in any of that. I do think politics plays a role. But I also think timing matters as well.
And I also think Beyonce is unfucking deniable. Like,
yep.
Beyonce has now successfully transitioned to different genres.
Multiple genres winning in those categories.
So give her her album of the year and stop playing in our fucking faces. Okay? And I apologize. I've been trying to work on my cussing, y'all, because I know some of y'all probably listen to this podcast in the car with y'all children. If y'all like, Ashley, can you please calm down? But this is how I feel.
To my aunt, she's like, Ashley says all the best words. I'm like, okay, I curse too. No, just
it's just sometimes there's no good replacement for that oomph that you need, you know? And with Beyonce, and this again, Beyonce is the artist of our generation, and I will stand on that forever. And so it has frustrated me to, again, it's like going back to like sports and championship rings, to imagine someone of Beyonce's caliber not getting something that she deserves. This is a championship ring that she's needed, in my opinion, to stand up against history when people will say, oh, well, Taylor Swift, this, and that. Well, no, Beyonce, honey, Beyonce. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't play in my face.
And again, a Black woman, why is it only 4? Out of this entire history?
Natalie Cole, Whitney Houston, Lauryn Hill, now Beyonce.
So yeah, and let's keep it real. So when it comes to Cowboy Carter, even if you don't enjoy it sonically, it is the most palatable of her albums when it comes to like maybe more people within the Academy actually listened to it and liked it. That's actually what Torre, he's one of my favorite, he's a known hip-hop journalist. He was like,
if anybody who starts our podcast doesn't know who Torre is, I don't know who you are. Like, I hope y'all know who Torre is. No shade. I'm just saying, like y'all start following him on Instagram or something if you don't know who that man is. Immediately. Sorry. That was a hard take, but I meant that. Like, I need y'all to go follow that man on Instagram.
Put you on game. He believes she won because of that. Like, she quote unquote kind of tricked the Academy and like, oh, she literally is giving them what they want to hear type of deal, right?
Yeah.
But for me, her win means so much too, because it was an education. Like, she really brought history with this album in understanding that Black people are the originator of country music. It's safe to say Black people are the originator of all American genres at this point. Yeah.
Facts.
Jazz, blues, rock and roll, country, hip hop,
R&B, hip hop,
R&B, gospel. Mm-hmm. Y'all got the drift. Happy Black History Month.
First of all, happy Black History Month. I am so sorry. I didn't even. This is
our first episode of the month.
Sickness getting in my head, y'all. Timestamp this. I'm so sorry. Happy Black History Month, Black people.
Black History Month.
Oh my gosh.
We on this podcast celebrate our Blackness 365, but welcome. You know,
Laura, I mean? Go ahead and cut this out and put this back at the top of the episode. What's happening? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Happy Black History Month, Black people. I love y'all.
Yay. Okay. She gave us the history. American Requiem is the most, I love the song. It's very artistic and musical, and like you can geek out on it, you know what I mean? But what she does throughout the entire album is just touch upon elements of country, elements of Black culture, the Southern Black experience. And in addition to that, she brought along for the ride, introducing a lot of people to artists who have been in this genre, grinding hard, trying to make it. And some of them pop, like Shabuzi and Tanner Adele and Raina Reynolds. So I love this. That this is the album that she's getting this attention to, because I feel like obviously she was pissed off when she made it because she was iced out from the CMAs, but I'm here for petty revenge.
Revenge.
The long game. This is the long game, and she did it. She did it well. So let's go.
It's beautiful. I love it. So let's talk about a few other things. Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar. Okay. Kendrick also had a fantastic night. He actually won 5.
He did.
He won 5 Grammys.
Sweet.
Talk about petty. This was on the back and grave of Drake. When you have the audience at the Grammys, those superstars singing your song, everybody in unison, A minor, deceased. You hear me?
It's a wrap.
And Delora, you were like, he's not gonna perform that Super Bowl. Ain't no way he ain't performing that song at the Super Bowl.
NFL has such sensory guidelines. I don't know.
There's no way. There's no way. It is the hit of 2024. There's no way. This man won record of the year, song of the year.
Yes.
So 5. He went. They say 5 for 5, but I thought he got nominated for 7. So
I don't know.
Check that. Somebody fact check that.
It's Diana Ross giving him the award for B. It's like that dichotomy. I was like, glam, old Hollywood.
In his Canadian tuxedo, as everybody keeps talking about.
Yes, that is the level of petty I love. petty.
People were like, Drake's over there taking notes of who else he's gonna claim in this next lawsuit. Blue Ivy. Why are you rapping and dancing along to this? You next. It was hilarious. But it was fun. I loved to see it. Like, I thought it just looked like a great time. It looked like people were having a great time, enjoying this
That's what music is all about.
Of a song.
What music is all about.
Are there any other winners that you enjoyed?
It was a time. I promise you I was not going to watch it. We were busy that day. It was my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, my beautiful baby girl.
Happy birthday.
We had a birthday party. I was already not 100%, but you know, adrenaline to keep you moving, right? And we celebrate her birthday at like an arcade game place, which was so cute and fun. And we made it home. And I was like, oh yeah, the Grammys are tonight. So I didn't even get a chance to watch it from the top. But Sabrina Carpenter was performing, and if y'all who listen to this podcast on a regular basis know I love that little girl. Okay, like she is literally short and sweet. I love that album. I love her aesthetic, her humor, her music, and I've been a fan even before this album. But I love everything that she has going on for her now. Her performance was such a joy, and I was like, oh my god, she did a phenomenal job. Then it was freaking Doechii winning best rap album, being the third Black woman to win that category. Her speech had me in my feelings. Shout out to all the Black girls around the world. Like,
Yeah,
thank you, sis. So powerful. And again, fan of Doechii for a while. She is a beast. Okay. And so I was so proud of her, and I decided to stick around a little bit longer. These are the top performance of the night that had me like seated. Sabrina Carpenter brought so much joy. Billie Eilish did a really great job. She sounds like her record, so I'm always impressed and excited when that happens. Doechii, she is an artist. When I say this, I mean she not only comes hard with the lyrics and her flow, but her performances have always been dynamic, and she did not disappoint. Then I don't know who this white boy is, but he was up for best new artist. I want you, I need you, oh God, please stay. He had Heidi Klum and Nikki Glazer rip off his suit. I was like, who is this? I had never matched that man's voice to his to his body in my entire life, but he's flipping all over the place in this baby blue get up.
Oh, is that the one who grabbed his crotch that everybody's talking about?
So good. And Ashley, again, Beyonce winning country album had me shook. Again, her reaction was adorable and everything, because it's like, again, one of my favorite.
His name is Benson Boone.
Thank you, Benson Boone. Blake Thornton said, he's like, she is proof that we do not live in a meritocracy where your hard work actually gets you the award as a Black woman in this country. And I'm like, snaps. Ray. When Ray gave us that last, note, I was like, holy smokes. I've been a fan of hers as well. Everybody came so hard. Chapel Rowan. And then last but not least, Cynthia Erivo in this Quincy Jones tribute. First of all, Fly Me to the Moon is my favorite Frank Sinatra song. It took me watching Quincy Jones's documentary on Netflix to realize that he had a hand in that. So that made me love the song even more. And to have Cynthia Erivo perform the song the way she did, I was floored. I was like, this is the best Grammys ever.
Yeah, I caught that clip. Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, it meant so much more because it was a fundraiser for everyone impacted by the fires in LA. And so I almost felt like the energy or something, they were doing something more, I feel like, this time around compared to some of the other Grammys. Because let me tell you, this show has not been this great in a very, very, very long time. Okay. And the way everybody stood up, and there weren't necessarily clean sweeps, but my girl Sabrina got her award. Chapel Rowan I wasn't mad at her winning Best New Artist, because they had hard competition this year. Like I said, it was a joy to watch, and I haven't enjoyed watching an award show like I did on Sunday in a very long time.
Well, that's great. I'm looking at Billboard's ranking of the performances, and they also gave Doechii number 1. And I've caught the clips of her performance, and seems quite accurate for me as a non-viewer social media consumer at the moment of the Grammys. So I'm glad that the award show, though, is doing its thing and making some improvements in terms of the awards and the recognition that has been long deserved. So We'll see. Last thing that we need to talk about is the fashion. Did anybody blow you away with their fashion at the Grammys? I want to say before we start that the Grammys are never usually my favorite fashion award show, and this year
Yes.
baffled me a little bit more than usual. Not just with the Kanye's wife being a slave looking
Butt ass
situation,
naked.
but even Julia Fox came on wearing yellow rubber cleaning gloves. I was just baffled by some of the decisions. Did anybody blow you away?
Yeah, I agree with you because when it comes to music, everybody's trying to be artistic and
Mm-hmm.
be a wild card. There's no like uniformity. I think crazy is allowed, right? Because you have freaking Chaperone wearing a dress with Degas paintings on it. So it's like, okay. Fun fact, apparently Beyonce wore that when she was like, they say when she was 21 in a magazine editorial years ago.
Yeah, they
So
had a
that's
side by
fun.
side.
I thought that was interesting. Cardi B looked fabulous. I'm really enjoying how they accentuated her shape very well in a very classy way. I didn't hate Charlie XCX red carpet look. Taylor looked cute. And then I also like Sabrina Carpenter's look, the baby blue. I liked all her looks, frankly. Even when she was in the audience in the gold, she had a golden flask that was exactly like her dress. And I was like, I'm here for this. Thank you very much. And even with Beyonce's outfit, I didn't love it because she was fixing herself before while she was sitting down before she won best country album. So her custom scaparelli was not put together. Like she had those underwire
Yeah. Little
bonies
wardrobe
popping out.
malfunction. Yep.
I was like, oh my goodness, Beyonce would have a wardrobe malfunction. Who would have thunk it? Honestly, I really can't think of anybody that's like, oh my God, you killed it.
Yeah. No. It's a nah for me, dog.
Oh, I take it back. I did enjoy Shabuzi's looks. I enjoyed his red carpet and his performance looks. I thought he looked elegant for a man. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was
You
just
like
very
the
polished.
silver?
I did. I
Okay.
did. I thought he looked phenomenal and along with his locks. Yeah. Oh, and one thing we didn't talk about, Ashley, we're going to have to talk about it really quick. Janelle Monáe during the Quincy Jones tribute, you know, during his Michael Jackson era. I don't know what happened because Janelle Monáe is a phenomenal performer, but what happened on Sunday was confusing to me. I was like, I feel like she wanted the essence of Michael, but it was not giving Michael at all. And I'm like, when was the last time she performed, sis? Because it was not great.
Yeah, I heard. I heard. I saw the look, but I didn't see any footage of the actual performance. But Van on Higher Learning was saying he got secondhand embarrassment. He had to like turn it off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, that's
Wow.
shocking because yeah, Janelle Monáe usually is such a great performer. But his point was they set her up for failure. They would have set anybody up for failure unless it was like Chris Brown or something like that. Like people have their bags, and this is not Michael Jackson is not her bag. Prince, yes. Michael
Yes,
Jackson, no.
that's
So
true.
that's probably some of what it was, or she could have been, enjoying her night, had a few drinks, doing her thing. It is the
And
Grammys.
speaking of Taylor again, Janelle Monáe at one point throws her jacket in the audience and then jumps on this random man's back. But Taylor takes the blazer and wears it for most of the night. I was like, she's a fool and
Living.
hilarious.
They having a good old time. They having a good old time. All right. Let's move on to our final hot topic, the Super Bowl. It is Super Bowl Sunday this coming Sunday. Are you
It
doing
is.
a watch party? Are you going anywhere? Are you just gonna sit in the house? What's happening? What are your plans?
It's me and my family.
Okay.
I always laugh at these videos where it's like, are you going out? It's like, no, I'm enjoying the bills I paid at the top of the month. You know what I mean? We're going
I
to
feel you.
enjoy this roof and this heat and the food in my refrigerator. We're gonna have a good old time rooting for Jalen Hurts
Okay, that was about to be my second question. Chiefs or Eagles? It's definitely the Eagles for me as well, baby.
all
I
day,
am not
everything.
interested in seeing the Chiefs get a three-peat.
Ah,
Um,
it's so
Jalen
funny.
Hurts over Patrick Mahomes every day.
All day from now into infinity. Okay, so so I say this to say I used to be a Chiefs fan, but I don't know what it is now. And I don't want to say I'm a hater now that they're great, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Especially because I'm not even gonna go there. Mahomes and his whole family are annoying to me. Also, I'm just
Hmm.
gonna throw that out there.
Hmm. Well,
Fried
unfortunately,
chicken.
yeah. Unfortunately, we'll have to suffer through a lot of coverage of the sweets during the Super Bowl, as usual, because of who will be in attendance. But I'm sure it'll be a good game. I just really let's go
Yeah,
Eagles. Like, let's go Eagles. Shut
let's
this
go
down.
Eagles.
Please shut this down.
Yes.
Um, the Super Bowl halftime show, as we've talked about already, headliner is going to be the Kendrick Lamar. SZA has already been announced to be a guest performer.
Yes.
Do you have any other thoughts or predictions or hopes for who you want to see come out and join him for this halftime?
Mustard. If he can come somehow make his way on the big stage, that would be fun. DJ Mustard, that's who I'm referring to. If y'all don't know, no, I really don't. I'm curious on when he's going to perform because he's already performed during the LA performance with Dr. Dre and Snoop, and even Eminem and 50 were out there. So he has hits, he has bops, he also has the new album. So I'm open. I'm ready to be entertained.
Yeah, I have an article up that for some reason a poll of over 3,000 NFL fans by Vegas Insider found that the guests people most want to see pop up are Eminem, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift, which feels random to me.
Well, he does have a song with Taylor Swift.
Does he?
Girl, yes.
I probably blanked that out.
You said I'm too black for that.
If I knew that existed, I
But
probably blanked
again,
that
if
out.
Kendrick can have a song with Taylor, anything is possible.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, that feels so random. What? Okay. Yeah, I'm not listening to it. So she will be there. So maybe she'll pop up on the stage. Who knows?
Yeah,
Um,
Bad Blood. They he's on that
oh,
song.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely must have blanked that out. Anyway, I don't really have predictions about who I think is going to come out. He may not bring anybody else except for SZA out, which I think would be fine.
Which is
Um,
fine to me as well.
I more so want to see what his set design is going to be like because even when he popped out for Dr. Dre, the whole Golden Lords thing
Yes.
from Meteor Man was
Yes.
so dope. And like,
Yes.
I just really want to see the costumes and the set design and the production that goes into this outside of just the music. Like, that's what I'm really excited for
Yep.
and the choreography. So we'll see. I mean, it's I think both the game and the halftime show are going to be, you know,
It's gonna be a good
must
one.
see.
Yep.
So I'm excited for this Super Bowl in particular, and we'll see how it goes. My plans right now, depending on how I feel, I would like to step out somewhere. I would like to, but I also can't get anybody else sick. So if I can bounce back by Super Bowl Sunday, I absolutely will. So yay, should be fun. Get your
Yay.
chicken wings and nachos and whatever else people eat
We like
out.
to we actually like to get Thai food for Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay, that
We
is a
started
departure.
the tradition when the Bengals were at the Super Bowl because all the wings and other places were tied up. And I was like,
Hmm.
let's get some drunken noodles and call it a day.
I mean, I like the non-traditional things, right? Like we started doing even for Christmas, like tacos or
Mm-hmm.
spaghetti or just, I like non-traditional foods. Do y'all?
Yep.
All right, Delora, that's all we got for today's episode. What are we recapping for next week?
I'm actually quite excited for this. We are recapping Zoe Kravitz' directorial debut, Blink Twice. available on Amazon Prime.
I was very hesitant about watching this movie because I had heard like, oh, it gets wild, it gets crazy. But I actually really, really enjoyed this film.
I did
Inevitably.
too. I did too.
I
I was
really did.
so apprehensive, especially during the first initial watch. I was like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then when everything happens, I'm like, all right, I knew some of it. I didn't know some of it. I'm satisfied.
Yeah, I didn't know any of it. I was like, what is happening? What in the Get Out is about to happen? That anxiety.
Yeah.
That anxiety was strong.
It's a thriller.
When you put a Black female lead.
Listen,
in danger.
In the midst of a bunch of rich white people.
You in danger, girl. That's what I kept envisioning. All right. Well, guys, come back. Stick with us for this recap. Again, happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Love y'all. We will continue this ride. We're going to have an In Conversation coming up this month, too, which I'm excited for.
Yes.
So,
and Black History Month angel Stevie Wonder was at the Grammys. I feel like Stevie Wonder is like in the middle of everything Black. And I love his performance at it was the Quincy Jones tribute. He played the harmonica, and it just made me very nostalgic because nobody can do it like him.
No. It's going to be a national day of mourning when we lose.
Listen, I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, he makes me emotional as well. All right, guys. Come back for Blink Twice. We'll see you then. Please share this episode with everybody you know. We appreciate it. Stay healthy out there. Keep your spirits up. We'll talk to you soon. But in the meantime, as always, if you're Black, stay Black and be blessed.
Bye.